on the next slide, it was just for coming back again and telling you that you do not know what the future will be. Nobody will know that. We do not know if it is the next peak. I have doubts. As I said, since 1914 there were not so many, so I would not trust that there would be a new peak being in front of our door. But you need to be prepared, not only to be active in a peak situation, but you need to be prepared to be also producing reasonably good results when you are in an average situation or when you are in a bad situation. And I should even say, not only when you are in those situations, but it would be ideally to take also advantage of the volatility. So it means that the way how you have to position your business, the way how you want to take your orientations, the way how you want your business to react must be completely different. Which I would then, at the end, like to summarize in 3 words. The first one is, for survival, cash is king. I'm in a very happy situation, not having debt in the company, but having to decide where I put my cash in what bank, which is already positive thing. The second one, but is a headache, yes? And especially for an industrial, it is a headache because, well, it used to be different during 20 years. So the second one is, flexibility makes the difference. Yeah, because you do not know what, you cannot forecast, and it makes no sense to forecast. But you must be able, and your organizations must be able to react under different scenarios. You need, of course, to decide on the layout of your business. Do you want to have it as a maximum contributor in the low probability case that you reach the peak, or do you want to have a company which gives you an average good return, whatever the situation will be? That is a fundamental question. When you lay it out to be very profitable and maximize the profit at the peak moment, you should pay attention not also to leverage the company at that level, because of, as we know, that could be a fatal error. And last but not least, don't forget that this is the moment for opportunities. Yes, when you see steel was growing by acquiring capacities, and you were acquiring capacities at prices of $900, $1,000 per ton of capacity. When you wait until the moment that everything is going up, it is too late. So if you have some cash, if you have opportunities, you need to seize those opportunities today. You can not necessarily, or you do not need necessarily to develop them today, because of maybe your cash will not be enough, but you need to incorporate that. If you wait too long, it will not work. And I should say, why would you just let China doing that? Because of China is in a systematic way, of course in my area of raw materials and transformation, doing that, seizing all that opportunities which arise. And it would be very wise, I believe, if you can do that in your businesses, to take those positions today. Last but not least, if all what I told you is right, you will become a very attractive company, and I know by experience what can happen to very attractive companies. If you have some questions now, because I believe that is the game, then I would be happy to begin with that, and it does not necessarily need to be in English. Yes.
How do you build scenarios where the world is going to go? You told us it's very important to adapt your organization to the future of the world.
Yeah.
How do you work with your team to do this?
Well, first of all, I think that trees go not through the sky, so basically believing that you would be in the peak scenarios, you just need to look at history, and the peak scenarios only happened when there was either you were in front of a war, the First World War, or when you were after reconstruction after the Second World War, or the fall of the Berlin Wall. That was still when the world around was communist, and so you had to limit your views to Europe, US, and maybe Japan. And now the last one was with China being the driver. Now, if there is no other new big driver in this game, it would be an error to believe you would come back to the peak situation. Now, then you can exclude one of the scenarios. You still have three. You probably have, and that would be my best guess. The orientation I would give today would be to a middle scenario. And there you need still to be careful, because when I speak about middle scenario, I speak one which is a world scenario. Yeah? Europe is for me just a path. But I have my doubts about the recovery rate in Europe over the next years. So I would believe that if you would think in terms of levels of 2003, 2004, that would be the most reasonable scenario you could take for the next years. You will also see that there will happen something which you call a reprise technique, in the sense that for 1 or 2 quarters, because of the output has been much lower than the decline of the real demand, there will be some kind of upside during 1 or 2 quarters, but that should not last too much. So it could be a little bit higher, but then it should go back to this trend of 2003 and 2004. But again, it means that you need to put into the mind of your people not only that it is coming back to what was normality, even not at a peak level, but that the rules of the game will have changed. Yeah, the actors you will find will have changed. Biggest movements in market shares will have happened. Your competitors will not be the same anymore. The way how you will do your business will not be. And the biggest danger I see is when you believe that it is just enough to sit on your cash box, like in my case, and wait until it is over, even be able to extend the useful life, as the mining companies call that, of your company for 1 or 2 years more, and then believing that everything would come back to normal. That is not the case. Maybe you would have to move out of your business. Maybe you have to add new businesses. But you can definitely not stay as it is. I know it's not a human, it's not a human characteristics to make big changes. And the more you believe you are strong, the more you believe you can remain like that.